I'm sitting in the kitchen where we used to dance, just staring at the shadows, giving silence a chance. Your coffee mug is sitting exactly where it was before we broke the world, just because. I reach for my phone and I remember the end. I'm losing my lover, I'm losing my friend. And now the warm tears are falling like rain, trying to wash out the weight of this pain. They're the only thing left that still feels like you. A heartbeat that's honest, a ghost that is true. I'm freezing inside while my cheeks are on fire, burning down the remains of a broken desire. Yeah, these warm tears are all I have left of us. I walk past the park where we carved out our names. Now the wood is all rotting, it don't feel the same. You said that forever was a promise you'd keep, but now I'm the only one losing my sleep. The bed is too big and the hallway's too long. I'm tired of being told I have to be strong. They say time is a healer, but time is a thief. It steals all the magic and leaves all the grief. I take all the fighting, the noise and the spark, over this quiet that screams in the dark. As the warm tears keep falling like rain, trying to wash out the weight of this pain. They're the only thing left that still feels like you. A heartbeat that's honest, a ghost that is true. I'm freezing inside while my cheeks are on fire, burning down the remains of a broken desire. Yeah, these warm tears are all I have left of us. Warm tears, tracing the lines where your hands used to be. Warm tears, the only part of you still holding on to me. Just me and the salt and the silence. I finally washed the sheets today, thinking the water would rinse you away, but the detergent didn't stand a chance against the ghost of our last slow dance. I'm standing here in the hallway light, holding a shirt that I held all night. It's been 3 months since you walked I tried to buy a different brand of tea, the one that you never attended me. But the steam rises up and it carries a trace of the Sunday mornings in this lonely place. Your leather jacket's still on the hood. I'm too scared to move it, too hollow to look. It's a sensory prison, a beautiful lake, a fragrance of promises we couldn't make. They say the mind forgets the words that were said, but the nose remembers the pillows in bed. I could burn every candle and open the glass, but I can't catch the wind as the memories pass. I'm still smelling your cologne on my skin, wondering where you went and where I begin. It's in the car seats and the old paperback, a scent that's a map that keeps leading me back. I close my eyes and the room starts to spin, 'cause I'm still smelling your ghost coming in. Yeah, the memory's sweet, but the ending is blue, and I'm drowning in every lingering breath of you. Faint like a rainy day, vanilla and wood, it won't go away. I'm breathing you in, though I know that we're through. God, I'm still smelling you. Just a ghost of you, still smelling you. The breakfast plates are exactly where you left them. Two forks crossed like a silver X on the wood. I haven't moved the chair or even swept them. I'm holding on to them as hard as I could. The dust is settling like a quiet confession on the jacket you threw across the arm of the seat. I'm turning grief into a private possession in a house where the heart has stopped its beat. And it's a still life, frozen in time, a portrait of a love that was yours and mine. The clock is ticking, but the hands don't move. I'm stuck the keys by the bowl near the entry. I almost reach out to hear the chime of the brass. I'm standing here like a hollow-eyed sentry, watching the seasons through the window glass. The fruit in the bowl is starting to wither, a metaphor I didn't ask to see. The memory of you begins to slither between the person I was and who I'll be. They say the world keeps spinning around, that there's music and laughter and life to be found. But how do I walk when the floor is a lake? How do I breathe when the air is an ache? And it's a still life, frozen in time, a portrait of a love that was yours and mine. The clock is ticking, but the hands don't move. I'm stuck in the rhythm, I'm stuck in the groove. And no color in the hallway, no light in the hall, just the shadow of us against the wall. I'm a frame without a picture, a heart and a knife, just a ghost living inside a still life. Don't touch the curtains, don't move the air. If nothing changes, you're still sitting there, still. I'm checking the mirror before I head out the door, adjusting the mask that I've worn 1,000 times before. The corners of my mouth are heavy, weighted down by a lead, but I pull them into position like a silver-colored thread. I've practiced the laughter, I've memorized the tone, so nobody can see the wreckage when I'm standing all alone. I'm faking the smile, I'm playing but the muscles are aching and the spirit's getting thin. I'm losing the battle to the gravity within. One day the glass will shatter, one day the pain will peel, and I'll have to face the monster of everything I feel. I'm faking a smile, I'm playing the part, while the cracks keep spreading across the hollow heart. It's a neon distraction, a neon light, to keep the world from asking why I'm bleeding from the eyes. I'm a master of the cover-up, a genius of the show, but underneath the surface, I'm 1,000 degrees below. The curtain is falling, the lights are going low. I'm finally dropping the only truth I know. It hurts to grin, let the tears begin. The colors are draining from the walls of this room, like a summer garden meeting an early frost of gloom. I remember the neon, the gold and the bright. Before we surrender our spark to the night. Your voice is a whisper that's losing its edge, as I'm pulled from the center and pushed to the ledge. I try to hold on to the shape of your hand, but it's slipping like water or grains of wet sand. The us that I knew is becoming a blur, a ghost of the people we definitely were. We're a film strip burning a frame at a time, ending the rhythm without any rhyme. Now we just fade to black, like a scream going dark, losing a fire and trailing the spark. No grand finale, no standing ovation, just the slow, steady pull of a heart's isolation. I'm reaching credits are rolling, the theater is cold. A masterpiece story that's grown much too old. Just let the darkness cover the track. Fade, fade to black. I'm tracing the edges where we used to meet, the cold hard angles of this empty street. We were a circle, no beginning or end. Now I'm just a point that's starting to bend. I calculate the distance you put in between, the sharpest division I've ever seen. It's the geometry of pain, the math of a loss, counting the degrees and what the fire cost. A parallel where I'm walking alone in a house made of shapes that no longer feel like home. The hypotenuse of every lie you said is a jagged line running through my head. We had a symmetry, a perfect design, but you found a tangent and left me behind. Now I'm an outlet, lost in the grid, subtracting the pieces of the things that we did. The volume of silence is getting too loud. Just a ghost of a shape in a faceless crowd. You were the center, my fixed access point. Now every intersection is out of joint. I'm looking for logic in a broken equation, but there's no formula for this heart's invasion. It's the geometry of pain, the math of the loss, counting the degrees and what the fire cost. A parallel life where I'm walking alone in a house made of shapes that no longer feel like home. Different colors of every eye you say is a jagged line running through my head. No intersecting lines anymore, just a closed curve on a locked door. The sum of us is zero, just a point in the dark. Nothing left but the arc. I'm standing in the hallway where the shadows grow long, trying to remember where the rhythm went wrong. The sun's hitting the floorboards in a thin golden line, a final bit of magic that I used to call mine. I see you packing boxes by the glow of the lamp. The air in this kitchen feels heavy and damp. We're down to the minutes, we're down to the sparks, before the whole world just goes quiet and dark. And the last light flickers on the edge of the bed. The I love yous are heavy, the goodbyes stay unsaid. I'm reaching for the warmth of a fire gone cold, watching the story we promised we'd fold. Don't blow out the candle, don't shut the door yet. I'm not quite ready for the sun to just set. My heart's in the hallway, begging to stay, as the last light flickers and fades away. You're leaving the keys on the counter by the sink. It's funny how fast a whole life can just blink. I remember the morning we painted these walls. Now I'm just listening to the silence that calls. Your silhouette's framed by the late afternoon, but the shadows are coming and they're coming too soon. I trade every tomorrow for one more hello, but the clock on the mantle says it's time for you to go. Is it the wind or is it my breath? This feeling of ending feels a little like death. I'm chasing the amber, I'm chasing the gold, before the night takes what I'm trying to hold. Flicker, just a glimmer in the dark. Flicker, the ghost of a spark. The sun's gone down. that's no longer a home. The light is gone, the last light flickers. The light is gone, I'm dialing the number I know by heart, but the rings just echo in the dark. I'm standing right here, but I'm light years away, in a house full of things we forgot to say. The bars on my screen are starting to fade, like the promises that we both once made. I'm talking to static, I'm talking to air, searching for someone who's no longer there. And I'm losing the connection, I'm losing the line. I'm chasing a heartbeat that used to be mine. The screen's gone dark and the winter is cold, and I'm holding a story that's already told. I'm screaming your name through the digital mist, but I'm just a number that's no longer missed. Cut off and drifting, no light in the sky, just a lost signal saying goodbye. The satellites wander, the frequencies break. I'm counting the minutes and feeling the ache. We used to be synced, like a song on repeat. Now we're just strangers who pass on the street. Your voice is a ghost on a voicemail from June. I play it to feel like I'm still in the room, but the crackle is winning, the silence is loud. I'm losing my way in a data-driven cloud. One bar left and the battery dies. I'm reading the red receipts, feeding the lies. I'd trade every circuit to touch your hand, but I'm casting out to a desert of sand. And traded every tomorrow for the high of yesterday. We were gaining speed on a dead-end road, fueled by the heat, ignoring every warning sign beneath our racing feet. I knew the time was coming. I knew the bridge was out, but I'd rather hit the wall with you than live a life of doubt. It was a love like a car crash, beautiful and loud. We were flying through the atmosphere, heads above the clouds. Then the metal started twisting, and the glass began to break. There's no such thing as sorry for the lives we didn't save. Now I'm standing in the wreckage, shivering in the rain, trying to find a heartbeat in the middle of the pain. The silence in the aftermath is the hardest part to bear. I'm reaching through the smoke just to find you isn't there. We were a spark in a powder keg, a fire in the wind, broken long before the actual impact could begin. I've got the seatbelt bruises, I've got the cuts that won't quite heal, but I'd still take the wheel again just to feel the way you feel. They tell me to walk away, to leave the scars behind, but your ghost is in the rearview, playing tricks upon my mind. Some people die for safety, some people live for gold, but I'd rather be this broken than have a heart that's never bold. It was a love like a car crash, beautiful and loud. We were flying through the atmosphere, heads above the clouds. Then the metal started twisting, and the glass began to break. There's no such thing as sorry for the lives we didn't save. Now I'm standing in the wreckage, shivering in the rain, trying to find a heartbeat in the middle of the pain. Red and blue lights fading, the engine's finally cold. Just another story of a love that didn't get old. A love like a car crash. Yeah, we went The mercury's falling, it's dropping through the floor. I'm bracing for the shiver as you walk out of the door. We used to be a furnace, a wild and steady glow. Now there's frost inside the kitchen where the garden used to grow. I'm breathing out a vapor, a ghost of what we were, a blur of silver ice where your edges used to stir. I've got a sub-zero soul, a heart turned into stone, trapped inside a winter that I'm facing all alone. Every word you spoke to me is frozen in the air, a jagged piece of glacier that I'm forced to wear. The warmth has left the bloodstream, the fire's lost control. I'm just a hollow statue with a sub-zero soul. Sub-zero soul. The windows are all clouded, I can't see the street, just the numbness in my fingers and the dragging of my feet. I tried to keep the embers from turning into gray, but you took the only matchstick when you turned and walked away. Now the sheets feel like a snowbank, the pillows made of sleet, and the silence is a blizzard that I never can defeat. They say that time will thaw the pain and let the river run, but I'm living in a shadow that's never seen the sun. The cracks are getting deeper in the surface of the lake. How much more of this permafrost can one spirit take? I've got a sub-zero soul, a heart turned into stone, trapped inside a winter that I'm facing all alone. Every word you spoke to me is frozen in the air, a jagged piece of glacier that I'm forced to wear. The warmth has left the bloodstream, the fire's lost control. I'm just a hollow statue with a sub-zero soul. Sub-zero soul. Everything is white, everything is still. I'm waiting for the melt, but I don't think it will. Just cold, so I still trace the empty space beside me in the bed, rewinding every always and the nevers that we hasn't learned to face the day. We built a world on promises that neither one could keep. Now I'm drowning in the silence, and it's getting far too deep. You were my beautiful mistake, the kind I'd make again, the sweetest kind of heartbreak, my beginning and my end. We were a masterpiece of shattered glass, shining in the light, a perfect dream that couldn't survive the waking of the night. I'm glad I got to hold you, even if it was to lose. You're the scar I'm proud of wearing, the only ache I choose. There's a ghost of us still dancing in the kitchen at July, and a bittersweet reminder in every passing sky. I look for you in strangers, in the way they laugh or turn, but the more I try to find you, the more I start to burn. We weren't meant for the long haul, just a season meant to fade. But I'd pay the price 1,000 times for the memories we made. They say that time is healing, but it's just a clever lie. It only teaches you to live with tears you cannot dry. I'd rather have the wreckage of the love we let go wrong than a heart that's never known a melody this strong. You were my beautiful mistake, the kind I'd make again, the sweetest kind of heartbreak, my beginning and my end. We were a masterpiece of shattered glass, shining in the light, a perfect dream that couldn't survive the waking of the night. I'm glad I got to hold you, even if it was to lose. You're the scar I'm proud of wearing, the only ache I choose. So sleep well in the distance, in the life you're building now. I'll keep our broken pieces as a silent, sacred vow. A beautiful mistake, the only one I'd ever want to make. I've become the master of the I'm doing fine, tracing every crack along the fault line of my mind. The neighbors think I'm steady, the windows stay bone dry. I haven't let a single drop escape my heavy eye, but there's a box beneath the bed where your letters used to lie. That's the graveyard where I buried my last goodbye. I walked past the diner where we used to sit till 4. I even saw your shadow through the window of the door. The air felt thin and frozen like the world was holding breath. I'm living in the afterlife of a love that met its death. I've grown so good at hiding, at keeping up the show. But there's a secret in the silence that only I would know. The last time I cried was the first time you left. A sudden jagged hole torn right through my chest. I haven't found the step to sting my cheeks again since I watched your taillights disappear around the bend. I'm a hollow statue frozen in the light, waiting for the flood to break the dam inside tonight. Sometimes I wish the tears would come and wash the dust away, instead of this numbness that follows me through the day. I'm waiting for a memory to finally break the stem, to let the ocean out so the healing can begin. The last time I cried was the first time you left. A sudden jagged hole tore right through my chest. I haven't found the soul to sting my cheeks again since I watched your taillights disappear around the bend. I'm a hollow statue frozen in the light, waiting for the flood to break the dam inside tonight. My eyes are aching, the sky is turning gray. Maybe if I say your name, the clouds will finally give way. The last time I cried was the day you walked away. I'm still checking the lock on the front door, like you're coming home late from the drive. I'm still leaving your space on the floorboard just to keep a ghost story alive. The coffee is cold in the kitchen. I made enough for two like a fool. Now I'm just a man on a mission to unlearn every heartbreak rule. And I'm running, but I'm spinning, still climbing a shadow, an invisible hill. I'm reaching for air where your hand used to be, but the silence is drowning the best parts of me. Every I love you is a debt I can't pay. I'm gasping for words that you took far away. I'm falling, I'm fading, I'm out of breath. I'm just a memory out of breath. The pictures are starting to yellow, or maybe it's just how I see. The light in this house got so mellow since you took the brightness from me. I try to speak your name to the ceiling, but it sticks like a stone in my throat. It's a hollow, heavy set feeling, like a sinking, beautiful boat. They say time is a healer, but time is a thief. It's stealing the scent of you, feeding the grief. I give my last heartbeat to hear how you sleep, but the promises made were too heavy to keep. And I'm running, but I'm standing still, climbing a shadow, an invisible hill. I'm reaching for air where your hand used to be, but the silence is drowning the best parts of me. Every I love you is a debt I can't pay. I'm gasping for words that you took far away. I'm falling, I'm fading, I'm out of debt. I'm just a memory out of breath. Inhale, exhale. It's getting harder to do. Inhale, exhale. I'm still waiting for you, just a ghost in the hallway, out of breath. We're sitting 3 inches apart on the sofa, but it feels like a canyon is carved in the floor. The tea is gone cold and the sun's getting lower. I don't think I know who you are anymore. You're looking at me, but you're looking right through, like I'm just a window to somewhere you go. I'm searching for us in the pale shade of blue, but there's a new language you're starting to show. 'Cause 'Cause I can't see the goodbye before you even speak. It's written in shadows. It's making me weak. The love that we built is beginning to rise like smoke in the air, and it's stinging my eyes. I'm losing the battle. I'm losing the prize. To the heavy, hollow sadness in your eyes. You used to look at me like I was the morning. Now I'm just the night that you're trying to end. I didn't get a map, and I didn't get a warning that I'd lose my lover to find the ghost of a friend. Your smile is a mask that is starting to crack, and I'm scared to touch you, 'cause you might break too. There's no use in trying to pull it all back when the spark has been drowned by the weight of the room. Don't tell me it's fine, don't say it's okay. The silence is screaming what you can't say. I'd rather you hate me than look at me so. With that sorry I'm staying, but I've already let go. 'Cause I can't see the goodbye before you even speak. It's written in shadows. It's making me weak. The love that we built is beginning to rise like smoke in the air, and it's stinging my eyes. I'm losing the battle. I'm losing the prize. To the heavy, hollow sadness in your eyes. Turn away. I can't bear to see the end. Turn away before I break again. Just a beautiful tragedy in disguise. It's all there in the sadness in your eyes. The sky is a bruise that refuses to heal, and I'm losing my grip on the way that I feel. I checked all the windows and locked every door, but the hollow is deeper than ever before. You took all the color and left me the gray. Now I'm just a ghost in the middle of day. The tea's getting cold and the clock's ticking loud, like a heartbeat that's buried beneath a dark cloud. It's nothing but gloom and doom in this place. I tried to watch TV to drown out the air, but every sad story is one that we share. There's a weight on my chest like a mountain of lead, and I can't find the energy to get out of bed. The silence is screaming your name in my ear while I'm drowning in everything I used to feel. They say that the dawn is just over the hill, but the sun hasn't moved and the morning is chill. I'm waiting for lightning to strike through the black, but there's no silver lining that's bringing you back. Yeah, it's nothing but gloom and doom in this house tonight. Since you walked away and you took all the light, I'm breathing in shadows and exhaling pain, watching the windows get streaked by the rain. The world keeps on turning, but I'm standing still, swallowing bitter like a jagged old pill. I'm lost in the wreckage, I'm lost in the fume of a heart that's been hollowed by gloom and doom. Just gloom, just the sound of the rain, just doom and the weight of the chain. I'm turning the lights out, there's nothing to see, just the gloom and what's left of me. So much doom. I gave you the keys and the maps to my soul. I gave you the parts that I thought were still whole. I traded my pride for a seat at your table. I stayed when the world said we weren't really stable. I poured every drop into keeping us dry, while you watched the clouds as the storms passed us by. Now I'm standing here at the edge of the line, realizing the heartbeat was only just mine. I thought my love could carry the weight of us two, but it only was enough to be like you were a ghost in a beautiful scene. I translated silence as peace or as rest, when it was just distance you held in your chest. I thought if I loved you with everything left, I'd fill up the hollows and heal up the theft. But you can't light a fire in a heart made of stone, no matter how brightly your own light has shone. It wasn't a lack of the things that I said, or the dreams that I carried inside of my head. It wasn't the distance or timing or fate. It was just that my everything carried no could carry the weight of us two, but it only was enough to be losing you. I built a cathedral on a shifting gray sand, while you were just looking for somewhere to land. I reached for forever, you reached for the door, and I finally see what I couldn't before. That all of the always I thought would come true only was enough to be losing you. Enough for the heartbreak, enough for the ache, enough to realize the mistake that I make. It wasn't enough to make you wanna stay. It only was enough to watch you walk away. Walk away. Only was enough. I found a receipt in my winter coat pocket from that diner we loved, the one by the lake. I still have your picture inside of my locket, a habit of holding that I just can't break. The scent of your sweater is starting to fade like a summertime memory, lost in the shade. I'm walking through rooms that are empty and white, looking for pieces you left deep inside. Everywhere I go, I find traces of you in the songs on the radio, in the shades of the blue. A ghost in the doorway, a step on the stairs. traces of you. The neighbor still asks how you're doing today. I just nod my head and I look the other way, 'cause explaining the why feels like losing you twice, and the silence between us is colder than ice. I see your hand writing on a note on the door. Don't forget milk from a lifetime before. I can't bring myself to just wipe it away. It's the only thing making me wanna stay. They say that the heart is a resilient thing, but I'm still waiting for what time will bring. If I scrub all the floors and I paint all the walls, will I still hear your voice when the evening falls? 'Cause everywhere I go, I find traces of you in the songs on the radio, in the shades of the blue. A ghost in the doorway, a step on the stair. I reach for the space, but there's nobody there. It's the way that the light hits the floor at the dawn, telling me over and over you're gone. I'm a map of a city that we outgrew. Just a heart full of shadows and traces of you. Just a fingerprint on a glass, a whisper as the cars drive past. I'm trying to move, but I'm stuck in the glue of these beautiful, terrible traces of you. Traces of you. Just traces. The candles have burned down, the stubs on the floor. I'm locking the windows and bolting the door, not to keep out the cold or the ghosts in the hall, but to sit with the silence and watch the stars fall. I'm folding your sweaters like shroud-colored silk. The bitterness tastes just like sorry milk. We didn't go out with a bang or a cry, just a slow, steady fading of light from the eye. I watched the devotion turn into a chore until we were strangers who didn't fight anymore. watching the light catch the edge of the glass in the middle of the night. You're explaining the reasons, the why and the how, but the room's gone to static. I can't hear you now. It's like someone reached in and turned down the dial while you're packing your bags with a ghost of a smile. The television's flickering, the street lights are gray. I'm watching the best of us drifting away, and I'm screaming inside, but there isn't a sound. The world is still spinning, but I've hit the ground. I'm reaching for rhythm, I'm reaching for you, but the pulse in my chest is a shade of dark blue. The frequency is broken, the music has died. I'm a hollowed out shell with a storm trapped inside. I'm watching you leave and I'm following suit with a heartbeat on you. I remember the thumping, the heat of the rush, when a whisper from you could make everything hush. Now the silence is heavy, it's a physical weight, like a lock on a door, a bolt on a gate. I'm checking my wrist just to see if I'm there, but I'm breathing in nothing but cold, empty air. You're saying you're sorry, but the volume is zero. In a story where nobody gets to be hero. Flatline. But I'm still standing tall, waiting for the echoes to bounce off the wall. But the vibration's gone, the resonance fell. I'm a silent observer in my own private hell. I'm screaming inside, but there isn't a sound. The world is still spinning, but I've hit the ground. I'm reaching for rhythm, I'm reaching for you, but the pulse in my chest is a shade of dark blue. The frequency's broken, the music has died. I'm a hollowed out shell with a storm trapped inside. I'm watching you leave and I'm following suit with a heartbeat on you may hear that. Nothing at all. Just the sound of the shadows. Just the height of the fall. Heartbeat. On mute. The waiting room is silent, the clock is ticking slow. I'm watching all the vitals of a love that's gotta go. We're down to shallow breathing, the rhythm isn't right, just two flickering shadows in a cold fluorescent light. I'm checking for a pulse where there used to be a flame, but the only thing that's beating is the echo of your name. It's a terminal heart, there's no cure for the end, no way to stitch the pieces or make the broken bend. We've reached the final threshold, the point of no return. Watching all the bridges we spent a lifetime building burn. It's a slow fade to static, a long goodbye in the dark. There's no spark left to save this terminal heart. The diagnosis hit me like a winter's sudden chill. I tried to find a remedy, I tried to find will, but you can't force a heartbeat when the spirit's already fled. Just a lot of heavy silence and the things we never said. I'm signing all the papers, I'm letting go the line. Funny how forever ran on borrowed time. No miracle is coming to sweep us off our feet. Just the sound of the monitor skipping a beat. One last breath of us before the flatline starts. The quietest collision of two falling stars. It's a terminal heart, there's no cure for the end, no way to stitch the pieces or make the broken bend. We've reached the final threshold, the point of no return. Watching all the bridges we spent a lifetime building burn. It's a slow fade to static, a long goodbye in the dark. There's no spark left to save this terminal heart. The room is getting colder, the lights are getting dim.